You're listening to MarceyLynn once again on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Another Thursday. It's another Thursday, and it is my Juneteenth. You know I'm about my Juneteenth, guys. You're going to see a little bit of lagging. I'm not sure why it's happening today, but I'm so very excited for you all to meet one of my beautiful new babies, Jasmine Nikole. And when I tell you her art is outstanding, if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. This young lady, you'll see also me posting regularly on my Facebook that she's on today, on today on the show. But when I tell you, last weekend I had my nieces with me and they were just loving the painting. So she works closely with our teens, and it's so close to my heart because I know that in artistry they can heal. So I'd like to introduce to some, and those that know you, know you. I know that for a fact. Jasmine Nikole. Hi, Jas.
Hi. I'm going to call you Auntie Marcy from now on, right?
That's fine. That's fine. I'll take it. I am so happy that you're here with us, and I'm very proud of I'm just proud of your art. I'm proud of you. You're such a beautiful young lady. I just want you to keep up the work, and I hope that me having you here on this community radio show encourages you, and really you understand that this is something that'll be in the documents forever. You know, so it's a history, part of history.
Yeah, I'm so honored to be here.
Tell me some more about yourself.
So I got started at a very young age, and what's interesting is that, being an artist and a creative kid, my kindergarten teacher told my mom in a parent-teacher conference that I would never do art. I would never be an artist. Like, I was not artistically inclined. Like, how do you know that in kindergarten? I don't know.
In kindergarten?
Right. How does that happen? Anyway. She was totally wrong. And I actually was drawn to being creative. And now that I think about it, it definitely gave me an outlet to heal through, childhood traumas and stuff like that. So, I was really drawn to it. It was the only thing that I could do without, taking my attention away,
Yeah. It was a good focus for you.
Yeah. And then, as I grew older, my parents kind of decided that it was a great thing to do, but it wasn't something that, you could probably do for a living. And so I had to make a decision what I wanted to do.
Yeah, school or school.
Yeah. It was tough, but yeah.
And look at you. Look at that beautiful artwork behind you. That's just beautiful.
Thank you.
That is really nice. That looked like sisters in the back with the red, and she looked like she had a jump.
Right there.
Yeah.
That one is it's kind of like talking about the self journey. And walking through self journey, you have to first learn yourself and then know yourself, and love yourself, and then you can be yourself, and then you can master yourself.
And there's nothing more encouraged. Look at the books. Those are books they're standing on, right? Standing and sitting on. Very important. Yes. You have to pay attention to art, and you can understand it better. A lot of people don't know that. How long have you been an artist?
I've been an artist since I was really 5 years old. I've always been drawn to it, and even while I was in college doing other things, I did it on the side.
Listen, it's not on the side. It's in you. It's like your peace place. It's like me and my sewing machine. My sewing machine's right here.
Really? I didn't know.
My sewing machine is constantly right here. I never know when I'm going to whip it out. I'll go get some fabric and make something, usually the day of. So,
wow.
So that's kind of how that goes.
So, the creativity, when it flows, it flows.
It's medicinal, and you can't even stop it. There's no way to flop. There's no way to stop it when it starts happening. So I understand completely and totally. And I was watching one of your videos. You were painting. Is that a wall you were painting?
Yeah.
That is absolutely beautiful. If you get a chance to look at her Facebook page, she has some videos up there. Just they're so inspiring, and you know how you fast forward it looked like it took forever, but she was just flowed so beautifully. All the different colors on that wall, so that was really great. So I'm very happy that you are teaching our kids. What was your experience as a creative kid, like at 5 years old, being creative and wanting to always ask for paper and pen?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even remember like when the first time I wanted to, but I do remember my parents giving me like a desk, you know, one of those light up desks. I don't know if you remember at all, but they're like little typed light up desks that like you can trace. So I started out as like tracing, and then like I started to draw. Yeah, and then I started to draw my favorite cartoon characters. And just being creative, it like I said, it was my outlet, it was my piece. And then people started to notice. And at 12 years old, I was able to get my first mural job. It was really exciting. I made a whole $60.
What? Girl.
But I did an entire room, and they paid me for it, and I was excited. 12 years old.
Officially in business.
Right.
Officially an entrepreneur. Okay? Officially. Listen, one stream of income or 20 streams, as long as at least most of them are what you want to do as opposed to what you have to do. So as long as you were doing something that you enjoyed and getting a little bit of money for it. Were you always doing art full time or like after? I know your parents made you make a decision, but after all.
So when it came time to go to college, I wanted to be an artist, but I never really thought of it as a career because of how, you know, I was shaped as a kid. And so I chose engineering because I was good at math and science. So I was an engineer. I went to school for engineering. I became a packaging engineer, and I worked for like Fortune 500 companies, multiple of them. And I was in the corporate world, usually the only person of color on my team. But, you know, my more recent roles, it was very diverse, actually. But yeah, that's pretty much the path that I took. And I always kept art as like, if I was doing an engineering project in school, I would like relate it to art somehow.
Engineering and science are arts, you know. I really, because like you have to put things together and make things whole, you know, and you decide when it's whole when it comes with science and in engineering too. So it really is like architectural, whatever. It's still art, you know. The end result is going to be a beautiful art piece that works, right?
Exactly, and it helped shape my, you know, thought process during projects too. The art.
Well, I know the kids would be one thing that inspire you, but what are some of your inspirations? I can imagine it must be many.
Yeah, so, you know, when I was a kid, I liked to draw my favorite cartoon characters. But as I got older and more recently, it became something deeper. I restarted like going full time in 2021. But in 2019, I had a traumatic experience, and so art helped me heal through that. And at that point, that was a pivotal moment because my art changed to be, I want the viewer to feel seen.
I understand.
I wanted the viewer to feel seen in a world where everything is kind of like, you're just a number. You're just a data point.
Microchip.
Yeah. You're just a data point. Like, you don't really matter. And people's voices become unheard.
Yes.
I want everybody to look at my art and feel like, okay, I see you. I see your joy. I see your sorrows. I see your pain. I see your struggle. I see your excitement. And be able to relate to it. And so that's what inspires me, the stories, you know?
Yeah, when you look at art, you really have to look at it and kind of, you can make the story, but if you can get the story on that piece of art, it's amazing. Because, like I said, that one in the back with the book, that's just, it just speaks volumes to me. Because that's the way to excel, is to have the knowledge, and then sharing it. So if you ask me a question and I can't find out the answer, I'm going to find somebody that can. And that's a very important thing that people need to know when it comes to art. Period. Never just look at it and be like, oh, it's just a girl standing on a book. Why is she on that book? Why is she sitting in front of the book? Why is love on that?
What are you trying to say? Exactly.
Yeah, so you can interpret it anyway and make sure that people see, if you do purchase it, they know the story behind it and don't just let it sit.
Yeah, and then like further on, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like
no.
on, if you understand what you feel from looking at it, like if something like, okay, I really like this piece, I really like this artwork, I really like this statue, if you can understand how exactly you feel, then that's where the healing kind of takes place, right?
It really takes its place when you get an understanding, because then you can prolong the story, stop the story so you don't have to hear it anymore. You can leave it right there, so you could just so I can remember every once in a while, that I overcame this. So it's just overcoming anything. So I need to know, and I can't wait to, what you're doing for our teens. And I thank you so much, if nobody thanks you so much, this summer with the art class. It's a program. What's the name of the program again?
Young Artist in You.
Young Artist in You. And the ages are from 10 to 15. So now, if you think about that age group, what type of things they might be going through, like bullying or whatever. This is a way for them to let it out.
Yeah.
So I encourage you, if you have a grumpy teenager like I do, to try to get in touch and definitely try to let them release through art. The one thing that I mentioned to you too, I said, you don't have to be great at it. You just have to be able to do what needs to be done from your heart onto the canvas. So, sometimes it's black painting, but what is that black painting to you? So it's very important. So tell me a little bit more about working on that. I know you said the applications are flowing in, so.
Yeah, so I am doing this, and listen, I'm gonna tell you for real.
For real.
I never imagined doing this before. I played with the idea in the past, but there was one day, probably about a month or two ago, and it was an overwhelming feeling saying, you need to do a camp. You need to do.
You heard it.
To do an art program. You need to teach the kids. You have something to tell them. You have something to give them. And I was like, whatever. I'll do it another year.
You kept pushing it off.
Yeah, and then like that particular weekend, there were probably 5 different instances where it was like, hey, do you teach this? I have this young teen who, they love art and this, that, and other. Like, what do you suggest them do? What do you suggest? What supplies do you suggest? Like, parents coming to me, and then I went to like a birthday party of like a 2-year-old, and the mom was like, "Hey, I heard you talking last year. You need to do a paint. You need to do a class. Do you do it?" And so, and then the kicker is that when I was a kid, I went to summer camp, and the director, I've not seen her in about probably 20 years, 25 years. But I ran into her, and she remembered me. because I guess I look the same. And she remembered me, and she was like, "Oh my God!" And I remember her face. She really did not age at all. And I was like, "Okay, all right. It seems like I cannot run from this. Let me get it going, see if there's a need." And yeah, I'm just here to serve.
Beyond need. And listen, I'm going to encourage any of my young artists, to definitely get in, and we'll see about, funding and things like that. But I'm really happy that this is going to give the kids a chance to, you may break some curses that are going on with them. They might have something that they will draw on a canvas that will allow them to release whatever type of pain they're in. So that's the best part of art for me of any kind.
Yeah.
And where's your camp located?
It's in Derby, and I wanted to tell you more about a little bit about kind of what makes it different.
Yeah, listen, this is your show for our community. So go for whatever you need to say it. Listen, okay. You have almost a whole half hour. What do you want to do with it? Yes.
Yeah, so what makes it a little different, it's not just a summer program where it's a free fall. I will be going into building your skills, and I, as an artist, learn every day. So we'll be learning together, and I'll be able to teach them what I've learned over the years. But I think the most important piece, not most important, but another important piece is entrepreneurship. I was able to start that at a young age, even though I didn't really realize it. But if I had known kind of what it takes to be a young art entrepreneur, and I had a mentor, then I think things would have progressed faster in this realm. But I think everything takes its course
as it's supposed
in the way that it's supposed to be. Yeah, exactly. And so now I have the chance to kind of guide other young artists who kind of want to go that route, just giving them the skills. But even if they don't want to do art full time, being an entrepreneur or learning about entrepreneurship will teach them leadership. It'll teach them communication. It'll teach them, all types of things that you need in any field that you go into.
So in some of those things, explain how it teaches that for someone that might not understand how it does. I mean, we get it, but there are going to be people that don't get it. They're just like, how does that even help?
Right. So, in a business, you have to be able to take the initiative. You have to be able to talk to people. And in the real world, when you're older, communication is key, right? Even if you don't know something, how to communicate with other people will help you through life. It'll help you to get farther in life. It'll help you to reach those places that, maybe our parents never reached. Communication, leadership, how to take initiative, how to know when to say certain things and when not to say certain things. Emotional intelligence, how to know how to speak to an audience, even if it's a one-on-one. Understanding who they are will help you to better communicate.
Yes,
and
definitely.
Sometimes leadership means that you're following, right?
And I'm constantly guiding people, and that's why I do this the way I do it, and have you give me the questions, because I don't know what you want the community to know, and Derby is not too far, is not as far as people think it is. Derby could be 20 minutes sometimes, depends on how that road is going. So it's not really that. So
it's
it really
15 minutes from what is that? The Boulevard? It takes me about 10 minutes to get to the Boulevard.
Yeah. And then just keep on going up Derby Avenue. there's different ways. I found another way to go Mountain Street way, so there's all different ways. You have to go the same way all the time, I think I'm echoing.
Oh, is it?
I think I have echo. I'm not sure. So we know who the program's for, but it's you are inspired by being an inspiration. I don't know if you realize that. Does that make sense?
No. It does make sense. I never thought about it like that.
You're inspired by you're really inspired by being someone who inspires. Now, other artists, younger, older, there are people that are looking to you and go, okay. And your light is it's very bright. So I'm looking forward to seeing some the work after the work, or some of the kids, reviews. Are you doing like a survey after, so you can see, what went well, so the kids can tell you, not the parent, the kids can tell you.
I think that's a good idea. It's about them and it's for them. So it will be, and this is about allowing them to hear their voice, but also be able to communicate. So that is, I'm going to take that. Thank you for that.
Take it, definitely. So I heard what you said about your parents, and you were mentioning that there's other artists in your family as well.
Yeah, so my sister is an artist, and then my sister right under me, her name is Tiara McKnight, and one day, I was into art. I'm doing art, and my sister comes over and she starts doing it with me. And then our youngest sister, who was 8 at the time, she comes over. She's like, "What are you guys doing?" And so we're like, "Just come on." And we set her up a space on the dining room table, put some newspaper down and everything. And she went to work. And honestly, at one point I was like, this girl, she took it and she ran with it. I was like, I was off in college at that point. I was like, this girl is really doing the thing.
Yeah.
So all of my sisters are artists. And then what's really crazy, I just found out last year, is that my grandmother, who I've never met, she passed away when my mom was 7, but she was an artist.
Oh, wow.
Her father was an artist. So going through our blood. And then on top of all of that, on both sides of my family, there's all types of creators, writers, singers, musicians. Everybody has something.
Yeah, listen, it was God and your ancestors tapping you those 5 times for this camp, for this program. It's just like, because you just had to, it was not going to leave you until you did it.
Yeah.
And if you have that many artists that, have gone on to better place, we think, they tap you. So you have all these artists, and even the ones that you haven't met. So you're just meant to do what you're doing. Yeah. And you're meant to do it and continue being successful. And this camp is going to be a door to something. I'm not sure what door is, but I'm sure it's going to be a door to something. I could see a gallery for kids. I just, the kids gallery. We don't have a kids gallery.
Right.
We don't have a kids gallery. I think there's a few places where there's maybe some kids art displayed, but these 2 artists, I was looking at, there's a commercial, I'm not sure what it's for, where they said, a Chase Bank. I think the kids with the debit cards, and one was an engineer, one's a scientist, one's a designer, the other one's, they're like all 4 kids are really, really smart. A cook, the beautiful Oriental girl's a cook, and she's like telling people, this is what I'm doing, and the designer, sharp, just all kinds of colors, different things. Ooh. So I think I could see, I could see those type of kids coming and doing a lot of things. And that's the kind of art show we need too, because it inspires them, and people will go see their friends, and hopefully it'll inspire their friends to actually use art to heal. Yes. So we know who the program's for. We already went through that. But I want to know, and I want you to start from your experience. What advice would you give parents of the young artists, like the ones that may have been like yours?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't want to paint a terrible picture for my parents.
No. I'm not saying it was a bad.
My parents were very supportive.
It's like football. You better go get that education just in case you break something.
Exactly. And they gave me the tools to be who I am today. So they always gave me whatever I needed. So I went to my mom for paint. Okay, she got me paint. She got me canvases. They were always very supportive, and I think that is very important when you have a young artist. I think giving them space to create, even if it's a little corner or a place on the dining room table, giving them space to create. And I think sometimes a lot of artists are kind of all over the place. And so when we're creating,
we are an eccentric bunch.
Yes.
In order to be artists, you have to be a little bit all over the place. I always tell you, and I literally am one of those people that's literally all over the place. You just all over the place. And that, how many kids I'm going to have with me? That's the thing. So.
Yeah. So you might find a paintbrush in in the refrigerator. I don't know. But giving them the space is, and then also like exposing the young artists to maybe creative careers. I didn't choose, or I felt like I couldn't choose a creative field. I went into STEM, which is internally creative, like we discussed before, but my two younger sisters, they both became a graphic designer, relinquish those thoughts, and figure out how. Instead of saying no, let's say how, as parents. How can we do this to where
incorporate this?
Yes, how? And some of that is what I'm going to be teaching in the camp. And there's actually a portion of the program where I speak to the parents about certain tips and tools, but then also like creating a career in the creative fields. And then at the end of it, we will have an opportunity to showcase the students. The young artists will have an art show where they'll be able to share their stories and sell their art. So that's where,
So that's cool. That's the gallery, probably, the gallery type thing. And I'm thinking it will give the parents an opportunity to see when they sit down that the value. It's like one of those things, if you build it, they will come. It's like one of those.
Yeah.
So, because, a lot of parents, when they're going to be able to sit in their space and do their art in a different capacity. So some parents are going to be, wowed. Some parents are going to be wowed. So I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm about to tell my daughter about it and send her that way. So I want you to go over how to get in touch with you, how to get everything. I don't know how to get into the camp too. You still taking applications, or are you closed out now?
Yeah, so now it's a registration. It's right on my website. I'll give you the link, and
say it for me.
It's www.jnikole
with a K.
Yep, with a K. artcollection.com.
Okay. So again, that's www.jnikole artcollection.com for application and to see more of your beautiful art. But you could, if you can get to her Facebook, I want you guys to see that wall that I got stuck there for a minute. Everything on there is beautiful, but I just got stuck there because how it's fast forward, and I'm going, that's just amazing. And we see these murals on a regular basis, and we drive by them. We need to take a minute and look at them because you never know who did that. We have some wonderful artists in our area. We do. We really do.
We do. Amazing artists.
Yeah, the pieces that I have, like this is earrings.
I've been eyeing it the whole time. You already know that.
Earrings. This is actually earrings, and this is actually shells. So these are old earrings and shells. And Joanne made these for me. Joanne Clyburn made these for me, and she made some faceless black mermaids for my daughter. I have tons of her paint. I'm like looking at the Praise Girls. She's got 4 Praise Girls that I have as well. So I mean, I like different art. I do. I like some of the regular stuff, which, you know, I have the regular stuff and acclimates, but I like to try to make it as crowded as I can with that. Everybody laughs at me. They're like, oh, only thing people get stuck on my Ida B. Wells doll. People get stuck on, well, that's Ida B. Wells doll. And then they look at all my statues. One's colonized and one's African, and, you know, but
beautiful.
It's your art has to heal you. It has to heal you. Have it around you. Have it around you. So anything you want to elaborate on as far as just who you are, what makes you you?
Yeah. So I am Jasmine Nikole. I am a creative. I can't even only say an artist. I'm a creative. And so anything I find my hands to do, that's what I do. And, you know, I just want my artwork to speak to people and allow them to feel and to feel seen, so that we can all kind of unite and relate to each other, and see each other again. You know, this is a world of numbers, and so we are not numbers, we are actually individuals. And once you can understand who you are, then that allows you to grow and master yourself. So yeah, art is the catalyst. That's in beautiful. My opinion.
Yes. Can you show us some of the pieces you have behind you?
Sure. Do you want me to take you closer?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm gonna have some in the beginning, but I just
use my my studio a little bit.
That's okay. Listen. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay.
So here's a piece that I created for the show Freedom Dreams, which is held at the Creative Arts Workshop on Audubon Street, New Haven. That was in February. And it's just showing community and like living off of the earth. And, you know, this is freedom to me.
And that's great. You have different, look, this is beautiful, just gorgeous flowers. They look like she got collard greens in her hand.
Oh, yeah, right. But here's some of the other artwork.
That beautiful blue piece. Go back a little bit.
This one.
Gorgeous. Yes.
Yeah.
I could see the thought in that. You know.
Yeah, that one's called Understanding.
Yeah, the tension in the neck, and then, you know, the frown on the face. It's not really a frown. It's like, I'm thinking about what I need to think of. And you get to see the books that we were talking about earlier a little closer.
Yeah.
Now, look, that's bad. All the way down to her shoes. Look at that. Look at them shoes. That's beautiful. Knowledge, love. Okay, down to the feet. Yeah. It's beautiful. Gorgeous. Yeah. Now, I saw another piece that was down that looks like one of the African masks here.
Oh, yeah.
That's a nice one. And that looks like somebody mama, the one next to it. Looks like, okay. Right. Somebody looking,
Yep.
Seriously.
And then this one is over here. This one is one of the ones that I first created. This is actually a print of it, but one of the ones that I first created in this new era of mine. This is the one that I started with when I went through my healing journey. What'd you say?
Yeah, and look at the detail in the shadow. That's actually gorgeous, really gorgeous.
Thank you.
Nice. You popped it with the gold there.
Yeah.
Your studio looks better than my office, so we don't have to worry about that. This is the masking.
Yeah.
I thank you so much. So you've been listening to MarceyLynn once again on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, New Haven Independence Community Radio. Again, today I have on my show the beautiful Jasmine Nikole, the beautiful artist, the beautiful teacher, the beautiful engineer. You know, you learn so much about a person. The beautiful scientist, and
Thank you.
our youth healer, one of our youth healers. I'm going to make one of our teen
I
healers.
like that. I
We're
like
going
that.
through the program that she's going to be having in Derby for 10 to 15-year-olds from July 10th through the 29th. And it's from 9 to 4 daily. So I know people think Derby's too far. Derby is not really that far. You can get in and out really easily. There is more than one way in and one way out to Derby because people think it's only that one. No, there's, if there's bad traffic, you can go around the back way. So you can also find out a lot more on her website, www.jnikoleartcollection.com. And that's www.jnikoleartcollection.com. Don't forget the K, not the C in Nicole. That's, with the extra E in my name, I'm always Marcy with just the Y, or Marcy with the I, or Marcy IE.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's important how you spell that. But if you have any questions, you can always go to the YouTube broadcast of this and put it in there, and I can pass it on, or you'll even see it. If you go on the YouTube and you have a question, don't hesitate to reach out after you see the show. So it's another Thursday. Juneteenth is coming. I'm ready for Juneteenth. I know you're ready for Juneteenth. You're going to be on. What are you doing for Juneteenth besides being everywhere? Probably.
Actually, I'm glad you asked. For Juneteenth, I will be at Black Wall Street, Bridgeport. And yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'll be sharing the camp with people there that pass by. But I have a vendor table, and I'll have my paintings. There I'll be selling prints and some other things.
Now, is that event on the actual Sunday or Monday?
It's on a Sunday.
Yeah, I mean it's Father's Day too, so let's bring the fathers. Bring the father. You have to go where I go. Come on, let's go.
Say, bring your father, and then spend his money, right? No.
You tell my daughter that. I wish she could hear that. She said, tell your father and spend his money. I wonder if my daughter is listening. I wonder if she's listening really, really, really. Now, what's your sister's name?
Tiara.
Tiara. Oh, Tiara. And what's the other one?
Lauren.
Tiara. Okay. Well, shout out to siblings. Shout out. Any brothers?
I have one brother, and he actually calls himself kind of like our manager. He's more on the business side of things. He keeps us on top of things.
Yeah, he's the brains he thinks, right? Yeah. He's the brain.
Yep.
Baby girl, I really appreciate you being here with us, and I can't wait for this to air. So it's going to be beautiful, and I really, really look forward to seeing you. I'm going to see what I can do about getting you some kids this weekend because I'll be at the Mental Health Awareness Fair. So I'll be there. I'm going to make sure that if you have any literature or anything you want to send over to me, just send it over to me so I can make sure that it's broadcasted along with this show.
Awesome.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Again. One other thing, how you guys can get involved is not only sign up your kids. If you don't have kids to sign up, that's no problem. We have, you can donate to sponsor kids who are not able to afford tuition. Or you can also come. We will have the art show open to the public, and during that time, you're able to, come support the kids.
Definitely. I was getting ready to ask you, how can listeners and community support you or get involved? Especially if you're an artist, you can always use more. There's not enough artists in this world. Everybody's an artist in the shower singing.
Right.
But yes, I encourage you all to get involved and come up with some great programs like this one here. So be inspired by the inspirer. And, you know, reach for the hard ages, the 10 to 15s, the teens and tweens. You know, anybody at over 18, that 18 to 23 right now is really the tough age. But at the same rate, if you start a little bit younger and try to instill the right things and ways to release the anger, which I still like, how you have a lot of anger, you don't have bills yet, you know, but the anger, release the anger and resentment and find some love. I mean, it's not easy to love your enemy, but I bet you can find somebody to show you how to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much. And please, please, please continue to inspire yourself, your children, just seniors, whomever you come across. And Auntie's here anytime you need me.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course.